So I feel like today is going to be one of the last days that I get to speak about this topic that many other people have talked about, and I'm revisiting it again, and it's a whole entire phase of Verte, DPE, Dragoon. Now, I've talked about each of them specifically on my channel outside of Predaplant, Verte, Anaconda. The reason is because it's the last piece of the year, and there's one more day left of the year, so might as well make another conversation topic. Now, between Verte, it can use a lot of different fusion spells that is actually very powerful. First up, we have Fusion Destiny sending things like Celestial or Dasher, so you can summon out Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer. Fusion Destiny is a wonderful card because you can activate it whenever, so if your combo gets stopped, you could just activate it to summon out a Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer and go into a simplified game state. Now, simplified game states are kind of scary, as whoever can gain the most advantage in the time pretty much wins. But with DPE being around, it makes it where the simplified game state gets much worse. And having a card that destroys 2 cards in total, one on each side every single turn, is kind of a hindrance. But overall, so far, not really an issue on that behalf. Next up, we have Red Eyes Fusion, a thing that everyone pretty much cut out of their decks outside of a couple others. Rogue strategies. Red Eyes Fusion is here where you send both Dark Magician and Red Eyes to summon out Dragoon for you get 2 pops and a negate, or 2 pops and burns and negates. Now, overall, Dragoon dropped off because Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer's engine is much more versatile, and you can run 3 Fusion Destiny over the 1 Red Eyes Fusion that you have to run with Verte, and theoretically you're running 3 bricks for Dragoon to 5 bricks in DPE, but those bricks aren't really dead because you can use them whenever. And then finally, to add into this, we have Branded Fusion. This card is game breaking and meta warping, because if we've seen in the OCG, people are playing so many different variants of the deck that it's kind of insane. Now, one of the things with Branded Fusion, it locks you into fusion summoning for the turn that you activate the effect. So you can't really use it off of Verte, while you have to use other things like polymerization or Fright for Fusion if you're running a Fright for build, or whatever else you use for that. Because people are running Branded Engine, 1 Albaz, 1 Despian, a Luber, triple Fusion, triple of the opening, and I think it was also triple. Oh no, just 1 Tragedy as well. But other than that, you need to run a brick, which is a Luber, and you're running Albion just so you can go into something like a Mirror Jade. Now, Mirror Jade is a once every other turn card, so granted, it does take a little bit, but it's super easy to turbo out. Now, why did I explain all of this? So, Verte is at a root cause that it allows every deck to be able to summon out things like Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer, Dragoon, no matter how it is. Because when we look at it, Verte is kind of broken being able to fusion summon and sending any fusion spell to the graveyard that is fusion or polymerization, normal or quick play from the deck to the graveyard, and it becomes that effect. Sure, there's a few outs like Imperm, Veiler, or Ghost Mourner, but I feel like it's time for Verte to go, because it allows any deck to make 2 monsters into a unstoppable fusion, quote unquote, depending on the circumstances. Now, Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer is the one that is kind of the problem, because it allows you to destroy itself in another, activate its effect, targeting itself during the standby phase to summon it back. I wonder who at Konami thought, yes, DPE, you can summon yourself when you get destroyed on the next standby phase. I feel like someone overminded that and forgot the text of "accept this card." But other than that, the pieces are more interesting while you look at it. Fusion Destiny is a 3 of and everything, and we can't really hit this because the reason it's getting Ultimate Rare in the February OTS pack. So they don't like hitting cards before they get an ulti print. They usually hit cards after they get an ulti print, like 1 or 2 lists later. So probably around the Megatins is when this stuff is going to get hit, if it continues to be a problem. Celestial is after combo, your next turn, you have nothing in your hand. You banish this and the Dasher to draw 2 for free. Dasher is a draw phase special summon of a monster, which if you draw a monster into it while you have Celestial, it's pretty good because you get to free up your hand during the draw phase. Standby phase comes and goes, and then your main phase 1 use Celestial to draw 2. So it is more advantage than anyone needs. And if they don't hit Verte, it's pretty much the last choice of just limiting Celestial to see where that goes. But I'm still in the boat of banning Verte actually matters, because we see a lot of decks going into Verte just to summon out a DPE. Other than that, there's not really anything else that we could hit. Predaplant Verte Anaconda is just the new Nightmare Mermaid, and everyone remembers Nightmare Mermaid. Any 2 monsters equals Nightmare Mermaid for full Orcus combo. But this is a little different as it is a combo ender. And also with the Albaz Strike deck coming around, you could do things like DPE, because you could summon multiple of them in a duel. And then after DPE, you can pop itself an Albion to set a spell or trap card, so you can actually go into something like Guardian Chimera, and after that, you get to summon out the DPE back. So it's just a lot of confusion and bandwagoning what people want, but I feel like Verte is going to be the card to go on the January list, but I want to know what your guys' opinions are. Will they hit the card or not? But anyways, I've been Bolt Spider. See you guys in the next video, and goodbye.